Welcome to our first weekly wrap, where we plan to go through the weekly news for World of Warships Legends.
Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gareth Major and I'm here with Manbobs.
Hello.
And Eggy Harris.
Hello.
And this is our basically weekly roundup. So this week we've had the Leningrad introduced to the game. I haven't encountered her. Anyone else come across one?
Not yet, no.
So obviously the release of the Leningrad doesn't appear to be going too well, with not a lot of people purchasing her. Then again, she's basically a tier 6 Minsk with 8-kilometer torpedoes, so she's not exactly that exciting, we have to admit. Now, one thing to add is that basically we've got 1 week until the end of this update, really, and so they've done like a quick Q&A. So out of the Q&A, we've gathered two things. One of the questions from the community has been, will there be any more maps? And the answer's been yes, and they're closer than you might think. So that almost implies that there's going to be some new maps in the next patch. So
all World of Warships are set in a flat Earth.
well, one of the things.
We're on a moon.
Well, one of the maps we
Have you seen the map
before has been Ocean, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Which we saw like about in the Yamato event. So whether that's going to be coming over, but it's definitely nice to see some new maps because it hasn't been a little while, hasn't it?
Or unless it's a hint that they're going to recycle bits from the maps.
Oh yeah, no, that's always quite interesting. Another one is basically someone asked what's happening with Cossack and Gallant. Now we know that Gallant's cancelled and that they've basically said the Gallant will be, Cossack will be coming within this patch, which means there's only a week left. So we know that Cossack has to come next week.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm looking at getting Cossack. I don't know if anyone else is intrigued.
Yeah, I'm interested. It's a shame about the Gallant, that's why I was really looking forward to. Not sure when.
Yeah,
they actually said on that one when they're pushing it to, or was it kind of indefinite?
No, it seems to be on the back burner for an undetermined amount of time, which is a bit of a shame because it would have been quite interesting to get a G-class destroyer in the game. But the Cossack should be interesting as a tribal class.
Yeah.
And then here's quite an interesting for a bit of speculation. I'm sure this is going to start quite an interesting conversation between us. The question was in regards to adding more stuff for motivated hardcore players, and the response is basically one of the measures is going to appear soon. Stay tuned for further announcements. So I take that as it's going to be coming next patch. Do you want to jump in with your speculations, chaps?
Well, I know we were discussing it and we were saying the fact that maybe clan battles, wasn't it? Essentially one option. I think, is it on the PC they've got 5v5, is it?
1v1, I think they have as well.
They've done two things recently. They've done 1v1 ranked, which has been amusing. It's been a bit of a Marmite thing on the PC. And then the other one is there are clans, and therefore there is like 5v5 clan mode.
Well, that's probably the two most likely options, isn't it?
Does that work? People can make a clan and then people can join, is it?
Yeah, I think how it works is basically, you'll get clan, you get clan tags, and then I think you can build a division of up to 5 people and go into a game.
I'm hearing back to the port clan there.
Yeah, someone's going to try and nick it before we can get there.
Don't discuss clan tags. We'll come back to that in our own time. But I think that's definitely something we're all interested in. I think, like, we want something where we can like test our metal, which isn't tier 7 dick slinging.
Yeah, I mean they got the ranked, haven't they? Obviously, but the thing of that is, it's just. I'm not going to say it's always dependent on the team, but it does largely feel like that, doesn't it? It'd be nice to have something where it weeds out people that are weaker, like from the get-go. Like maybe a system like a hardcore mode would be interesting. Not that I've typically loved all hardcore modes in like FPSs, but you know, something that is natively hard to play and detracts people who aren't good at the game for it would be interesting.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah. I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it? Really, with like the ranked, is they have tried to implement that sort of thing, but it does depend on teamwork, and not everyone.
It's
in this game.
randoms as well, isn't it? Because you can only have
Yeah,
a division up
everyone's
to 2,
getting
so
in
it's
there.
not exact. It's teamwork, but in the game mode where it's cross-play, you can't all communicate with each other. You're
No,
limited
exactly.
by a command wheel, and if you've
Which
got
some
national
people might
voices
even
on,
have
you
on.
can't even talk to
Yeah.
each other.
I mean,
Yeah,
some people
exactly.
might have it on national voiceovers, and you're not even communicating with the communication.
Yeah.
You're just
But
spamming
that-
noises.
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like ranked is difficult because it's basically about managing the objectives and etc. But people who don't know how to play the game just completely feck it up for everyone else. And okay, yeah, they
Yeah.
split it into a tier 6 sort of. You know, you sort of have a different division, as it were, like a different rank. Sorry, but it's not really enough though.
I mean,
It doesn't
a
really.
team deathmatch is something that comes to mind as being
Well, yeah,
interesting.
that could be interesting
Yeah,
if they did
yeah.
that.
That's a good point, actually.
Like an all v all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
and that
really
could
good.
be incorporated with clans or 1v1s or divisions. Normal
That'd be a bit
games,
more
but-
like duck mode, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit like that. Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing. Duck mode did actually get quite competitive when you're up against like seasoned players. It wasn't quite my cup of tea, but it was quite funny to see how it went from being really sort of casual to quite intense on some
But
games.
But it goes to show that they obviously have the infrastructure there for 1v1s or like free for alls. Sorry, so it can't be too difficult to just implement that into another map with real ships.
No, that's
if
a
if
good
that's what they
point.
wanted to do.
Yeah,
A
no,
free
that,
for all would be quite competitive.
that actually sounds like a really interesting idea, actually.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised either.
That's good. So we're thinking potentially like 1v1 or clan battles, or basically all v all or team deathmatch, most likely. I think on that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd be happy with that.
That's fair enough.
Or even Geo used to be quite amusing.
There is another question in regards to the French, but French destroyers. But again, they basically say they're not expected for a long time. I'm probably going to get torpedoed, so I'm probably going to come spectate you, man Bobs. Oh
Okay.
no, I'll go
Oh,
to Eggy, he's
Picking
closest.
sides.
There we go. So yeah, that seems to be the general wrap up. I guess the other thing to mention is we'll probably be expecting a teaser to come out for the next patch probably this week or early next week, and then patch notes late next week. Anyone want to speculate anything, or do we? I think it's quite hard to say. They've basically said the French ain't coming, French destroyers.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit too much to jump to another nation straight off the back of the Russians, although they did do that when they did the Germans to the French.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, they've had such a variety of stuff recently. We've had like 2 short Russian campaigns with a Russian release. The rank's been condensed down. We've recently had Duck, obviously, like Duck of War.
And the British cruisers, and the Yamato
And the
event.
British cruisers. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. The only thing that's kind of going on like this week is going to be the VE Day, but they've done some camos for it, but I don't know if they're going to embrace that more, but I doubt it. That's the only thing sort of themed that's kind of on, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it seems like their commitment to VE Day has simply been to transfer the VE Day camos that they've already produced for the PC version over onto the console version, and then admit the British with the excuse of saying that basically there's VE Day camos on the PC version for the British or on ships that aren't in this game, and they couldn't be bothered to spend the 8 weeks to prepare a camo. But then when you kind of consider they haven't had to prepare a camo, they've just pilfered them all from the PC, you can kind of go,
Yeah,
well, you could have
That's
made
the only
time.
one they would have to have done, isn't it? Yeah, this winds us up no end, doesn't it? I mean, you know, it's not. I don't think it's the correct attitude. They probably should not have bothered at all on that. But that's just us ranting, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it would have been more intriguing to do like a flag. I mean, that would have been quite a nice one. Just give everyone a flag, or allow people to purchase a flag for, like, say, 1,000 doubloons or something, or earn
Yeah,
a
exactly.
flag.
Even if they monetised it, I wouldn't be too. I'd just happy. Like, as long as it wasn't stupidly expensive.
Yeah, it could have done like
Or a
buy
little challenge
flag
to
and
complete it, like a small admiralty backing. Do like a few challenges,
yeah.
playing all the different nations that were in that fight, etc.
Well, I think that wraps up our weekly wrap. Unless anyone else has anything to add?
No, I think that's it, really, isn't it?
And that was our weekly wrap recorded with the Gallifrey Major, Man Bobs, and Neggy Harris. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe, and back to the port.